Hello, I'm Sluis from Holland. I go to make today for you a bouquet with Lisianthus, and I go to use for this a structure made of clematis. It's a nice thin vine, and I go to tie it with paper wired wire, and I start with the smallest part to make it in a small circle. We take the wire, both sides, I go to tie it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This one I go to do on a few places, so later on I can add more and more and more, so we can get a really nice disc of this clematis vine. And voila, here we have now the structure finished. And you see we worked flat over it, but also on the end I put some extra vines over the top, so I can play a little bit more with my Lisianthus in between. I use also this paper wire, as you see, because of the color. Because it has the same color, it is more or less invisible later on. I have here a beautiful Lisianthus, and what you see is now flowers with a different tone of color in the different stage. But also you see here the stem, on the stem are green leaves. When I hold my flowers in front of my structure, you will see that the leaves hiding the beautiful structure, but also weaken the color. What happens when I take off all the leaves and remove the green? It's like in a painting. In a painting you also don't need always the green color. So without the green I strengthen the color of the Lisianthus. Also I give it more power and they last for a longer time, because all the energy is now going to the flowers that I want to use. And now you will see the difference with the color, the Lisianthus and the structure. What is very important? Very important to work clean. Have a clean table and select all the flowers in length and in the different stadia of open flowers. Now I can choose later perfectly and very fast the right flower for the right spot. So important when you start to work organized, have a good overview and work clean. And you will see it will help you a lot in your design process. So now I have my structure. The stems also we make nicely spiral, and now I can put in my flowers. When I see this whole structure, I can hide it totally with flowers, but it will be a waste. It will be a pity for the nice structure what I have, and also I don't give the right value to my beautiful Lisianthus. When I make a balance in between the structure and the Lisianthus, both get more strength and both will be more beautiful. Now I can add easily the flowers in a position that I want. Because of the structure, I can put my flowers in between the gaps. They will be hanging down, and then I can put them on the right position where I need them. In this way, it's working very easily. The only thing what you have to do is work very constantly, spiral, so all the flowers will be in the right direction. In this way I can adding more and more flowers all the time, also in between, and everything will be perfect in position later. Also, when I'm tying my bouquets, I don't put pressure on my stems. I only hold my bouquets with 2 fingers, not with the whole hand. I don't put pressure. Everything has to be light, so I don't damage my flowers. My stems getting not hot and everything go easy. And also now, in this moment, you see already what happens when you work with a structure. My open places in my structure having the same value as the place where I use my flowers. And as you see also, when we talk about colors, I didn't take a very bright Lisianthus, but a little bit a pale one. So the pale dusty feeling I have in my clematis is also in my Lisianthus. So I make a combination in colors perfectly with my Lisianthus and with my structure. All aspects are important and you have to overthink. When you choose your flowers, your materials, everything. Everything has something to say. Every decision changes directly your whole design. You see, I can put in between flowers inside everywhere where I want. And as I mentioned before, because I remove the smallest buds of the flowers, I remove the leaves, the Lisianthus will stay even longer than they do normally. So there will be a very strong, long-lasting bouquet. Maybe it's already more an arrangement than a bouquet. Sometimes when you put in the flower, it is hard to get into the small hole. What you have to do, you have to use the stem of the flower like a drill. You have to turn it a little bit so then it finds its way, and then you don't have to use power. When you have to use power, it won't be good, because then something is wrong. So never use power, then you make a bouquet. All the time find the good and the easy way. Also, you see, sometimes I put the flower in clusters together, sometimes separately in the middle. That makes it also interesting. When you put the flowers equally everywhere in the same distance, in the same majority, the bouquet will be boring and looking too much artificial. And voila, my structure bouquet with pale pink Lisianthus. And I put it now nicely in an easy container with water, and it will be standing nicely on the table. Nice from the side, even more beautiful from the top. Only working with one botanical material, and that is this beautiful Lisianthus and some dried clematis vine. Thank you very much, and hopefully I see you next time. Bye bye.